What's going on, guys? Thanks for being here. The purpose of this course and even making this community is simply to create a space where young men can talk and learn and discuss the challenges we face. For a lot of the people, the reason I'm making this is um, the phase between high school and feeling like an adult, whether that's moving out, making your own money, uh, taking responsibility, whatever that is very confusing for men and women, but in this case, men especially. Um, my plan is to share my story, what I went through as someone who didn't go to college, who didn't trust the system in that way, and how I fumbled through, and how, regardless of whether you feel like you have a clear path or not, you have to keep moving forward. And what did that look like for me? What are the mistakes that I made? And what do I wish I had done differently? And how can I help you to navigate that more smoothly? Um, so, with this community, the plan is to help give you steps that I've taken over the last 10 years to live a life that I want. So much of who we are growing up is built on who our parents are, the groups we hung out with in school, and the identity we build is based on how can I feel safe in the house that I live in the group of people that I'm around, what I wear, how I talk, how I spend my money. All of those largely are dependent on the people you spend time around between being born and being 18. We create an identity that makes us feel safe, accepted, and loved as much as we can. And so we build this identity, this shell. By the time we reach 18, we started out in this little pond of our community, where we live, etc. And now we break out of this. We're adults. The world's our oyster or whatever. So now what? Who do we want to be? There are 1,000 different options. I can go to college. I can, jump on a path that I feel good about. I can get a job. I can work in a trade. I can, take a gap year and travel. And a lot of what I'm going to talk about and encourage is spending time alone. We built this mold, this identity, from 1 to 18 that needs to be shed. Need to let go of, are these really the things that I want? Or are these things that I chose to appease my parents or make my friends think, oh wow, that's a great idea? At the end of the day, we need to go after what we want alone. I built a life that I thought I would love. And at the end of it, when I was 24 years old, I had everything I wanted. The car, the apartment, the living in the city that I wanted, the money, and I hated who I was. I was miserable. And I buried it in alcohol and overeating and numbing out. But from the outside, I'd built a very successful, secure, safe life. I should have been set. But I couldn't see myself living it for another year. And so the intention here is to help you, to help whoever is watching this, to start at a younger age than I did and go for the life you want. It's not going to be a clear path. I'm not saying I'm going to help you get to the point where you say, I want to be a business owner who has this much, it's trial and error. You're going to make a lot of pivots along the way, but to have a sounding board, to have someone to talk to have a community to bounce ideas off of is huge. There are a lot of times I wish I had a mentor or I had someone to talk to, and I didn't. So if we can create this community, we can build a support system where, you have somewhere you can go and just bounce ideas off of people or work together with people to achieve your dreams, move towards your goals, know yourself better, feel pride in who you are and what you're doing. That's the intention here. Thank you for being.